Hello, sweethearts
Oh,
and
welcome.
lilies. Okay, this I'm keeping this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Third time's
Yeah.
a charm.
Uh,
Third time's a charm. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Quantum Leap Reviews, where today we are going to be talking about literally one of the farthest things away from Quantum Leap, as we thought, until we started watching and realized, oh, there's a lot of stuff here. Hello, welcome to South by Southwest, the first TV movie of Murder, She Wrote. I am joined by usually our host, Freezing Inferno, but currently he is trying to piece himself back together. So,
Fletcher. Fletcher.
yeah. So, South by Southwest is South by Southwest was made in about 1996, 1997, which is usually when which weirdly enough is when all of the TV revivals came about. That's when you had stuff like the Doctor Who revival. I think Leave It to Beaver one was in '97. Return to Green Acres I think was '97. But yeah, they all happened in that like short amount of time frame. So they thought, and Murder She Wrote had just been off the air for a couple years by this point, which she even till her last couple of years of life, she hated how the series itself ended. So they decided to bring her back for TV movies, and this is the first one. And we start with a doozy.
Oh my god. So this is the literal personification of that Anchorman meme of that boy that escalated quickly. This is my very first experience with Murder, She Wrote. I gather the concept is Angela Lansbury is a murder mystery writer who encounters lots of actual murder mysteries. And within a minute, there is a murder.
Yeah, like that. Like that's the thing is within the first minute
Bang.
you get the which is rare for Murder She Wrote. Murder She Wrote usually like has like an opening, like a cool like a intro period before you get the bang. Here, the murder itself is the cool off period because this thing goes.
So a man has been shot and killed, and there is one witness, Sarah.
Sarah McLeish.
Sarah McLeish is the one witness to the murder. Oh no, how horrible. And now whoever has killed this person is out to get her.
And she must be protected by everyone's favorite one of everyone's favorite yeah, I can't speak. One of the most famous B movie actors, it's Mr. Keith David.
Oh hell yes.
Yeah. So yeah, Keith David plays a big role in this as the FBI agent who is very pissed off at the amateur sleuth figuring out things before he does.
Oh, the dynamic they have in this movie rules. The way he's just like, oh, listen, Miss Fletcher, just stay out of our business. And she proceeds to not do that. And every time she pops up, he's like, oh my god, Fletcher!
She like, oh, what was the first one? Oh, what was the first meeting? The very first meeting they get is the very first meeting is in a sheriff's office. And she is the only scene to another murder that happens.
There's lots of murder?
Yeah, there's two murders. So she's in the sheriff's office being badgered on by this small town sheriff. When enters Mr. Keith David, and when Mr. Keith David finally takes over the situation and starts going like, hello, Mrs. Fletcher. I'm Adric Bartles. This is my associate and partner. Would you like to tell us what the heck is going on here? And she's like, oh, sure. And she proceeds to describe in detail a sucker punch to the gut.
She's just one step ahead of this guy at all times, and you can just tell. Like, it's not Danny Glover, but if it was Danny Glover, I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah, like this is 100, and I think that's it. This is one of the reasons why I love the sleuth genre, is because sometimes you get a sleuth who is a moron, but he's able to with his friends, both on the police force and usually a partner if he's characteristically that type of moron like character, he's able to solve the crime. But then you have people like Dr. Mark Sloan in Diagnosis Murder, and Angela Lansbury here, who sometimes they know what the fuck are you doing.
I mean, that's most sleuths, isn't it? Like a Columbo or a Benoit Blanc. They're just,
No, Columbo is a police lieutenant.
Right.
He's in the police force.
Oh, okay, okay, but same thing either way.
Yeah, but yeah. So why does all of this? Why does all of this occur? What is going on?
This movie is sponsored by the Amtrak Train Company.
Yes.
Travel on Amtrak today.
Yes. So we start our movie on Amtrak, and they will push this for the first 15-20 minutes of the movie. That, oh, look at this Amtrak train, and you can ride our buses. And
which is surprising considering I assumed, given that it's called South by Southwest, that this would be like a bottle murder mystery where, oh no, we're on a train and there's a murderer and we have to sleuth it out. But the train is like the inciting incident, the first act of the mystery.
Yeah, it's the it
setup.
Yeah, it's the setup. It's pretty much like that. This is where all of our characters get together.
And all your clues and all your red herrings. And for instance, this is the one clue that I pegged immediately as being like, okay, that's totally set up for the reveal. Is that Sarah has a German Shepherd named Hannibal, and Hannibal will bark very loudly at any strangers that approach.
Who isn't Sarah or her fiance? But we don't know the fiance yet. But yeah. She talks about him a bit when Jessica Fletcher finally meets Sarah.
The guy who got murdered. The first guy who gets murdered.
Yeah, the very first guy who gets murdered. She talks to Sarah, and you kind of get. She also meets a couple who she very much does not want to continue meeting on several occasions.
Oh, these guys. So there's this guy. I forget the actor's name. Put it up, me. But I remember him from the movie Office Space. And while we're talking about people I recognize from movies, there's a Romanian tennis coach who is played by the guy who was Spider-Man's landlord in the Raimi movies.
Yeah, that's the thing about this movie. They just get everybody. Like literally, there's Ronnie from the episode Black on White on Fire from Quantum Leap.
Which that's an amazing cop for you to get, because I've only seen that episode once, and I'm like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, that Ronnie. The sheriff from Fire Walk with Me.
Yeah, we got Twin Peaks mentioned.
You got the landlord from the Spider-Man Raimi movies. You've got
Keith David.
Like, they just literally go in and just get everyone they could get for this first. They really went all out on the casting.
Oh, it's a great cast. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. So, well, our inciting incident is basically setting up this meeting between Jessica Fletcher and Sarah McLeish. They have to have dinner together in the train car, and so they get to talking. But she's going under the assumed name of Judy Taylor, and it's when she mentions murder that suddenly, oops! I've spilled wine on my sleeve. I guess I'd better go and get that washed up. And this is where things start to go wrong.
Yeah, and that's when you start realizing that things may not be entirely what they seem.
Yeah.
Because not even 5 minutes after she walks out, steward walks in going, I have a message for Mrs. Julie Taylor. Miss Julie Taylor. And it's like, I'm here. And
Yeah.
Jessica, being the nice, kind person she is, goes, I'll take it. And she's very nice. Like, again, Jessica's very nice, but sometimes she makes decisions that will come back to bite her.
They will. There's a lot of setup happening in this opening act here. The couple you mentioned, Sarah, and we've also got, there's the Romanian tennis coach. We've also got this guy who we've seen at the murder scene and then on the train. So it's like, ooh, that's suspicious. There's a fella in a black leather jacket who pulls out a gun, and you're thinking, ooh, is he suspicious? And there's this other guy that Jessica bumps into on the way to go back to Sarah's compartment. This fella with crutches who's just looking to smoke a cigar.
In the dark.
In the dark, like you do, because even though it's 1996, you can't smoke publicly on the train anymore. They're starting to phase it out.
Yeah, and also apparently he is a Bond villain because he smokes in the dark.
Well, I mean, when we figure out his deal, not that far out.
So Jessica goes exploring into the investigation, and she goes into Judy's room. She finds out what Judy's room is. She goes in. The place has been ransacked, and by ransacked, I mean this place has been torn upside down. If this guy had a knife, he would be tearing into the cushion.
Surprisingly, you're gonna need a counter for this because multiple bedrooms in this motion picture get ransacked.
Yeah. This is your first big clue that something is amiss here.
Well, the second big clue is the bald man who bursts into the room and pulls a silenced gun on Jessica Fletcher, saying, all right, where is it, Sarah?
Where is it, Miss McLeish? Where is it? It's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not Miss McLeish. Oh, unlikely story. But,
and then he gets knocked out cold by a bottle of champagne.
Like you do.
And then we find out that the guy that we see at the very beginning of the movie is not a bad guy at all. He is actually a reporter who knows Mrs. Fletcher. Who knows Mrs. Fletcher because he reads a lot of her books.
Like half the people in this movie are like, "Oh my God, you're J.B. Fletcher, the mystery writer."
Yeah, she's very famous by this point. Next time I pick this, I might pick like a series 1 episode just to show the difference between her early days and now, because now she's well known, everyone knows her. Back then, everyone's like, most people are like, who are you again?
Oh yeah, well, there you go. So this guy, whose name? This guy,
Richard Loomis.
Loomis! How could I forget that? This has been a secret Halloween sequel the entire time.
Yes. Welcome to the grandson of Dr. Loomis, who likes to hide in hedges.
Lottie, get your ass away from there. But yeah.
Lonnie. And there's a Lonnie in this episode.
Oh my God.
There's a Lonnie, but the actor who played Lonnie.
Really?
In Quantum Leap.
Oh Jesus. But anyway, so things happen. The train stops as an emergency stop, and this is where Jessica Fletcher proves to be like 5 steps ahead, because she immediately gets off the train and she leaves this Cabot Cove brochure on the tracks. And this is so she can trace her way back to this place later. She has already planned the entire fucking thing out, her investigation. She is on the case.
Yeah, she's like, something's up here. Someone pulled this for a reason. I need to come back here and find out why. So she leaves her brochure. Then she meets Mr. Loomis, and Mr. Loomis is like, okay, well, before we get talking proper, I gotta get this guy out. I gotta get this guy somewhere so he won't bother us further.
We need to investigate and look for Sarah. Let's split up.
Yeah, but before that, he throws the bald man off the train.
Oh, channeling his best Uncle Phil impression. Ah!
It's yeah. He's like, get the wallet. Here's the thing. He does that while it's going. He swings the door, but it's like, and out you go.
Oh, this guy. Oh, this guy. But yeah,
Oh,
they split up to look for Sarah. She
wish he was
finds
in the-
Mr. Crutchman again in a dark room smoking a cigarette, calling out for someone called Radley, and she just leaves. And oh hey, Loomis, did you find Sarah? Oh no, you found a bullet instead. Great.
Yeah, he not, Sarah, while Jessica's going through Sarah's things, which includes this lovely Nintendo Game Boy console.
Oh my god, the fucking game. Okay, we gotta talk about this Game Boy. This Game Boy, believe it or not, this random ass Game Boy with a copy of Donkey Kong Land 2, a contemporary Game Boy video game. It was released in the year 1996. This is like the MacGuffin of the movie. We don't know it yet, but this is the thing that we're looking for.
Yeah, this is the reason I picked it, and as soon as Fresno found out the reason why, he started laughing so hard.
Oh, that's ridiculous. But what's even more impressive to me is that they don't... So a lot of TV shows will fudge their video game things, you know. Like, someone will be dicking around on a Game Boy and you'll hear Atari beeps and boops. And 90% of the time, the Atari beeps and boops specifically come from the Atari version of Pac-Man that was one of the supposed causes of the old video game crash. You know, like that. But, no, you actually hear and get to even see Donkey Kong Land 2, and they play the actual title screen music from the... I know that because it's basically an 8-bit rendition of the Donkey Kong Country 2 music, and that shit is embedded in my brain because that's one of my favorite games of all time. So the actual honesty in just actively portraying this random Game Boy game, and the only reason... There's two reasons I can think of they picked this specific Game Boy game. One, that is bright yellow, and so it stands out as a game cartridge, and two, that it was contemporary at the time.
Yeah, it really does help signify just... It really just brings your eye right to it from the get-go. Yeah. Like, it really just brings your eye, because it's like, wait, why does she have this? She says that she has a gift for her nephew, which is actually a big clue in of itself.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, that's another clue for you to hold on to. But that is... Yeah, that we get information about that revealed later. But for now, we stopped at a train station somewhere in Arizona to investigate this murder. This is where we meet Keith. This is where Jessica Fletcher meets Keith David. The two become somewhat of nemesis.
Yes, and sucker punches him. And so he's like, get on the train.
She immediately gets off the train to ask the Amtrak guy who is also played by the actor from Twin Peaks. And then Keith David comes back in, and he's like, why are you still here?
He's actually like a pretty like chill individual, because
I mean, it's Keith David. Keith David is
not Keith David, the Amtrak guy.
Okay.
So she talks to the guy dealing with the luggage and says, I need my stuff dropped off at El Paso to be picked up by the guy I'm meeting there to do the lecture.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, I can do that. And he makes sure he does it. She gives him like a 20. So he's like, yeah, I'll do it, of course. You probably would have done it even without the 20, but it's, nice. Yeah. Then she gets off the train again, goes to the conductor, who's very much a small town. Yeah, sure, come in, I have a map.
Oh, yeah. And long story short, she does not obey the orders of Keith David, and she gets off that fucking train, and she's on the road for her investigation. The next morning, she's on a bus in Arizona, and oh hey, there's a small child playing around on the bus. You know what would be nice, a nice gesture for this small child. Here, have a computer video game, son.
Yeah, it turns out, and then she gets on an Amtrak bus.
Amtrak!
Welcome to Amtrak. But, she meets this young Indian child. Well,
Yeah.
who originally when I first watched this movie, I thought was a girl, and then because
I
you
thought
hear
the same
Joe.
thing.
Yeah, you hear Joe, and
Joe.
I thought, oh, it's probably
Yeah.
J-O, and then
Very
when they
long
stop
hair as
off,
well, but okay.
yeah, and then you stop, and then when they finally stop at the town, and you see the dad, who's an Indian, very clearly Native
They're
American.
Navajo. He
They're
identifies
Navajo.
Navajo.
Yeah, there, and then it finally clicks. Oh, he's,
Yeah.
he is, Indian and his heritage and
He's
everything.
Nate.
It's like,
Yes.
oh, it's so Jessica in a show of good faith goes, could you hang on to this for me for a little while?
Yeah. Well, I'll need to get. Much to the chagrin of Mister Sun.
Miss,
Sun.
Mr. Sunrise.
Mr. Sunrise. Oh God, my kid's gonna be addicted to a Game Boy. He should thank his lucky stars that this movie took place in 1996, though, when the Game Boy was kind of on the wane. It was old technology. They weren't really putting much into it. But, about a year or two later, a little game came around that gave the original Game Boy a shot in the arm called Pokemon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's not good.
Yeah.
But yeah, welcome. But yeah, through her investigation, Jessica finds out that the only town that would be anywhere near where they stopped, where the train originally pulled the emergency brake and stopped, was a town by the name of Aqua Verde,
Agua Verde.
which originally I thought was on a reservation. No, it's not on a reservation. It's next to government issue property.
Oh, boy. Oh, Fletcher, are you going to Naruto run into Area 51?
Yeah, so Jessica first goes back to the tracks to prove, oh, yeah, this is where we stopped, because she finds the brochure.
Yeah.
Then she finds out that Mr. Sunrise is the sheriff of
Well, that's
the
good.
town.
Well, yeah. When he's like, yeah, so I got a call and saying some crazy woman was walking near the border of the government facility. Oh, what did they do there?
Yeah.
I don't ask, they don't tell.
Yeah, literally, I don't ask, they don't tell me. And you have like people, and you have like townsfolk when she goes to the diner go like, I heard it was a very top secret like biological weapons.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard it was aliens.
Yeah, Mike was getting real Twin Peaks vibes off of this. Just fish out of water in a weird, kooky little town.
And then when she comes back to her room, oh, you hear that ding, ladies and gentlemen? That's number 2 on the, oh God, my room's been searched.
Oh, here's a fun thing that it's another clue that will help us later. So Miss Fletcher, when she gets to the hotel, she pays for her room with her credit card. But this being the dawn of the digital age, this is actually flagged, and the FBI pick up on it. Credit card has been traced
To Aqua Verde, and Mr. Keith David is not too happy.
What is she doing there?
So she finds out through her friend at the Los Angeles Police Department.
He's FBI, isn't he? Actually.
No, he is just normal detective from the Los Angeles Police Department.
I thought he was FBI.
She finds out the home of the guy who was originally killed.
I love
Not Loomis. The guy Loomis went to go meet and was the guy who he thought was a government whistleblower and got shot.
Peter Hayward. Also, I love when this guy calls Jessica Fletcher back. He's like, Jessica, what the hell are you getting into? The FBI's all over this shit.
Yeah. Fun fact for people who don't know. In season 1, Jessica's able to outsmart and outwit KGB agents.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, so Hayward's house is ransacked, and this is when she gets confronted by the mysterious man who's been in the black jacket, who's had a gun on the train, who the movie's trying to throw a herring at you that he's either a rogue FBI agent or he's in on the conspiracy. But this is Agent Guzman, and he does not. I can tell. We were watching on Tubi, right, and it doesn't have commercials, but you can tell when they're having an act break because you can see he's like he reaches to his belt, and then it cuts to the next shot where he's pulling out his badge.
Yeah, like it's a hard. Yeah, like usually they're able to fade in the ad cuts. That was very clearly oh no, it's a cliffhanger to the next ad break.
That's clearly
because he goes for because he goes for his belt, and then when it cuts back, he's like, "Here's my badge," and it's like, "Oh, Ron Guzman, FBI, part of the Witness Protection Program." And it's like,
so
yeah.
That would be a good time to mention that by coming here to Hayward's house, even though he's dead, she's technically breaking and entering. I mean, sure, murder is a crime most foul, but our mystery solver wouldn't go commit any more massive crimes, right? Right?
It turns out Mr. Hayward was an analyst at the NSA. Worked at an NSA site near Aqua Verde. He left his badge at his house that Jessica finds very clearly on his desk, along with a picture that proves Peter knew Sarah. So that's kind of giving her a clue on where to go and what to ask. She leaves the house after meeting with Guzman and is very pissed off about Guzman being like, I'm gonna tell you where she is after you were the one who let her jump off the train and possibly get kidnapped. I'm gonna be the one to tell. So she gets back to town, and she sees this government Humvee there, which is very obviously a transport to the NSA site.
I still can't believe this.
She walks up to the military officer, flashes Hayward's badge, covering the name of Peter Hayward, and gets transported to the NSA site.
Fucking Nat 20 bluff check, holy shit!
She's lucky that no one on the way there, no one she meets there, no one knows who she is. She's just able to get all the way into the building.
The badge still works! He's been dead for a day or two and they haven't deactivated the fucking badge. She just scans and gets in and she's... Oh god! She just about accesses a terminal with sensitive government information before the bald guy who held a gun at her on the train, who turns out to be Radley, an NSA, he was an NSA agent all along, is standing over and just like,
It's like, come with me, ma'am. Like,
and it turns out this was her plan all along, to find the head of the NSA, who also...
Who was the cigar-smoking man who was smoking in the dark. She finds out that, and he's like immediately like very pissed of like, you should not be. Why are you here? And she's like, I had to find you.
I knew
It's the only thing I could think of.
I knew that if I asked for an appointment, you wouldn't see me, so I committed several crimes.
Several federal crimes.
Oh my God, Fletcher. Okay, but this is what's going on. Hayward apparently stole some government secrets related to encryption of U.S. missiles, and so satellites. Sorry, yes. So it's information that would be very bad if it fell into the wrong hands. And this is where I fell for a red herring, because several of the characters from the train have returned. So we obviously dealt with the drunk guy on the train. We obviously have dealt with Guzman. We've dealt with Radley and the NSA chief. And we've dealt with Sarah. We've even met those two, that couple on the train who initially tried to get into Jessica Fletcher's cabin. They're just hanging out in Agua Verde in a sports car, eating ice cream, like you do. Just having a good time on their vacation.
Yeah.
The one guy we haven't seen is Spider-Man's landlord, the Romanian tennis coach. And this is where I thought that this was some post-Cold War bullshit, because his entire conversation to Jessica Fletcher was basically like, oh yeah, capitalism and the free world and the free market. It's not all it's cracked up to be when you're a tennis coach.
Yeah,
I kind of miss the old days.
Yeah, it was like, oh, look at the dangers of capitalism, drugs and crime, and I'm like,
drugs and crime. Yeah, like, yeah, you know why the Soviet Union did have drugs and crime? Because anyone who did that shit was unalived.
They were shot.
They were carted off into the night with a bag over their head, buddy.
Yeah, like and the ones who did do it and were allowed to, all of them were part of the government.
Well, which is kind of like, the current American government. Hello, Iran-Contra. Hello, Iran-Contra.
Yeah. So Jessica, through a photo that she finds in Peter's house, she finds out again that Peter and Sarah knew each other. And through that, she looks at the photo and finds that there was a cabin by a brook.
Which,
in Arizona, which means that this is probably one of few greenish brooks in Arizona.
Look, you do, yeah.
But she finds the cabin thanks to the hotel manager,
who's a fan,
and he's a lovely fan. And she finally, we catch up with the plot of the original murder.
I should say as well that also somewhere in this, Keith David tracks her down to the hotel and gives her more clues, including the fact that Judy Taylor was a cover story, didn't have a nephew, blah blah blah. And how did you find me? Oh, the wonders of modern technology, Miss Fletcher. Everything's connected in the modern age.
Yeah, and it doesn't even take her a second after she shuts the door when she realizes he tracked my credit card.
Which, she got... So that's a little bit of nugget of information to keep in your back pocket. So, we're at the cabin. We find Sarah, and...
Right before this... or right after. Either right before or right after the meeting with Fletcher. Keith David and his partner, who I think is one of the police officers in Magnum P.I., which is again another ringing of bells.
Let's Google that fella real quick.
Yeah, they meet with the NSA people, and Keith David proceeds to rip them both new orifices.
Oh God, yeah, it's just all government bullshit. Like, oh no, it turns out apparently Peter Hayward knew about this whole leak with the satellites was a design flaw in the system, and so he brought it up to the NSA head. But the NSA head was like, "Oh, we don't need to worry about that. We'll just sweep it under the rug. I've got to look good after all." So he planned to whistleblow to reveal this critical security flaw, and then got killed for it.
Yeah, it turns out that Peter does not make good decisions. Peter makes no good decisions because apparently he finds this out, and his many decisions leads up. So at the cabin, and Guzman shows up, It's like, Mr. McLeish, everything is okay. We just want to bring you back under our protection.
This isn't me cocking my gun. That was just a bird.
Yeah, he was like, this is just a bird. And so Jessica and Sarah peer out the window, and Sarah making a comment goes, but Jessica, he's the guy who shot Peter.
Oh no.
Yeah, and so now it's time for the third leg of our journey. We've been through Amtrak train. We've been to an Amtrak bus. Now it's time to go on a white SUV speeding down the road towards the final destination of El Paso, Texas.
Well, before that, we got a little car chasing down the Arizona dirt road, which Fletcher carefully evades by having them drive into the creek because they are in a goddamn hatchback, and Gooseman's just in a shitty car, so he gets stuck in the mud. It's like, damn it, I lost him.
It's not even a crap car. It's a 1970s built out of thick metal, like I think a Mustang or something.
Well,
So
that don't
she
even.
knows that
Yeah.
like yeah, so she knows like, oh, if I drive into the mud, he'll get stuck and be literally unable to move.
Yeah. So they're in El Paso getting some coffees, and so Sarah mentions, "Oh, I'm just gonna pick up some things for my nephew." Which So then Jessica decides to pay for the coffees with her credit card.
Yeah, that's the
Uh-oh.
first. Yeah, that's the first thing that tells you, Jessica. Did you forget? Cause you just said like you figured this out. But I love how that's also played on the way of like she might have known. That might have been the point when she figured it out and was like,
I'd say
I gotta
so.
get.
I'd say
Yeah,
so.
I gotta.
But,
Yeah, I gotta leave.
but Sarah is one step ahead because, in the most inconspicuous manner possible, her rig, she has a vanity license plate with Sarah M as the license. Which we see she's putting the screwdriver in the glove compartment when Fletcher comes back out, and so they're driving. And then, because she scanned her credit card, the FBI are on high alert, and it's like, oh, put out an all points bulletin and pull him over if you see him. So, a vehicle matching that make and model passes by a police officer, and they tail them, and then more tail them. And then Keith David is in a chopper pursuing them. The news is in the chopper pursuing them. The radio is saying, oh, we have a police chase on the go. We're in a white hatchback, which I don't know if it's exactly the same vehicle, but honestly, I got vibes to, and this would only have been a couple of years in recent history at the time of this movie coming out. I got vibes to the O.J. Simpson car chase.
Yeah, you can plainly tell they went all out for this movie as an apology to Angela Lansbury for how Murder She Wrote ended that final season, because it really gives Jessica like a lot of action that she wasn't really used to in Murder She Wrote. So it really tried to give her a lot more to do. And so they finally make it to Jessica's friend's house.
Which,
Make it to Jessica's friend's
incidentally,
house. Incidentally,
wait. Before that, there's a funny resolution to this. Everyone pulls them. The cops pull them over. There's like 30 cops with shotguns and guns. Step out of the car now! And it's just this random Asian couple who happened to be driving the same type of rig, and Sarah swapped license plates with them. They were after the wrong car the whole time.
Yeah, and they were driving behind all of this, and they literally drive by everything.
Boy, that escalated. Boy, I wonder what's going on there. Oh well. So, but unfortunately, Guzman has tracked them down, and he's got his pistol out.
And what kind of tells you immediately that Jessica's figured everything out is that when Jessica's in the kitchen of her friend that she was meant to meet in El Paso, Guzman runs in. Guzman is in the kitchen, and he goes, "Where is she, Mrs. Fletcher?" And it's like, "I don't know." And she's not like panicked to see him. She wanted him here.
Oh yeah.
That tells you right there, And so Sarah knocks the gun out of his hand and is like, "Shoot him!"
Actually,
And
I think we'll find. You're gonna stay right there, Sarah.
yeah,
I figured this case out.
yeah. Sarah McLeish is a spy. She was a spy who found out that Peter found out about these codes, about the flaw in the codes. So she decided to do a little bit of spying, to do a little bit of selling them to people who should not have these codes under any circumstances. She used Peter right to the very end, and what solved the crime and made me laugh the moment Fresno first spoke about it, because he was instant he got this, and I was laughing so hard. Was she tells as Guzman and Keith David and David's partner are in the room. Two things is what gave Sarah away. Number one, she kept trying to treat her cover identity as her real identity, even to Jessica Fletcher after Jessica found out exactly who she was. And number two, Hannibal. Hannibal had been trained. Hannibal had been trained to bark and lash out, and as Jessica said, trained to attack on sight anyone who wasn't Sarah or Peter.
Dog didn't bark when Peter got shot. Therefore,
yeah, Hannibal would have went after the killer if it was anybody else. Therefore, the only person to have shot Peter, because we see in the very beginning Sarah has Hannibal on the leash. It has to have been Sarah.
and so you see, she shot Peter, but she just as she was about to get the codes, a police car came by, and so she had to make up this whole story about, oh my god, my friend was shot. Oh, I saw the killer, and now he's after me. So we've solved that, but there's just one problem. Where are the super secret codes? Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, where are the codes, number one? And number two, what about Richard Loomis? Because Richard Loomis got shot after Sarah jumped the train.
Yeah, so who killed him?
That's when Jessica realizes, oh dear God, her transfer. Her transfer was on the train. She left her bag on the train because they were going to take it.
Yeah.
They transfer, and that's when she realizes. And I just gave the Game Boy to Joe.
It's in the Game Boy, everybody. It's in the. And yeah. So this is a tense scene, where they're trying to get back to Agua Verde and warn Jim Sunrise. Oh, we need to find your son and get that Game Boy back. And this is where we call bullshit, because Joe Sunrise is out. He's going to his baseball game, but he's also got his Game Boy. He's playing this fucking thing in broad daylight. And now, Mike, I know that you're of a younger generation. You don't know. Even you picked this out. Bullshit.
He's playing it in broad daylight with the sun on the screen.
I had an original model Game Boy as a child. I can confirm you could not see shit if you did that.
And yeah, he literally, like, even I knew that, and I grew up. Yeah, even I knew that, and I grew up with Game Boy Advance SP. The reason the SP was so great was because you had this thing called a backlight screen.
That's when they finally added a goddamn backlight. Unless you count the Game Boy Light, which we're not doing today, because that's different.
Yeah, but they are like seconds away from.
There is literally a car that pulls up and someone comes out and they've got a silencer in their heads just before Jessica Fletcher and Guzman show up, and they're like, oh, yeah, Joe, we're going to have to take the Game Boy back, but don't worry, because I ordered you a new one at the drugstore. And you can just see Jim Summers going like, oh, God.
Yeah, but Joe says I'll only play it when Dad lets me, and he's like, all right, that I will accept.
Attaboy,
attaboy. Come on. Yeah, come on to baseball practice.
And she got into this great new game called Pokemon.
But here's where the next scene where you can plainly tell that they were not allowed to do any modifications to either the Game Boy or the Game Boy cartridge.
That bullshit. What a lot of bullshit this is. They pull this chip. They pull this little chip out, and they're like, this is 64 gigabytes of U.S. satellite data. It's like, horse shit.
Yeah, yeah. You can clearly tell, but then it's because of that chip, and because of Jessica finding out the handler must have been on the train. They shot Loomis. They did all this. I think I know who it is.
This is the greatest big dick energy moment I've ever seen.
I love the ending to this. I adore the ending.
Yeah, she shows up to her lecture, and oh hey, that nice couple from the train is there to see Jessica Fletcher. How lovely. And so she walks. Her friend introduces her. Oh, hello everyone. Please let me welcome accomplished author and personal friend, Miss Jessica Fletcher. Yay! And she walks us up and is like, I was supposed to give a read of my latest novel, but instead I'd like to give a lecture called Murder and How Not to Get Away with It.
Yep, and she hoists up the Game Boy.
And these two were just like, it was them all along. They try to leave, but the FBI's there, the NSA's there, they're all surrounded. And that's how it ends!
Yep, it turns out, at the very beginning, at the very first meeting, the couple asked that they were trying to meet their friend Sarah on the train.
I missed that.
That's how Jessica realizes. Wait, the people who would be meeting Sarah on that train would know her by her real name.
By her
Radley knew it. Radley knew it because he worked for the NSA, and so he would know her through Peter. How would they know it?
Yeah, I missed that clue. Admittedly, to be fair, I didn't even know there was a. I don't even know if we knew there was a Sarah. Well, yes, we did, but either way, I missed the clue. But that's a good clue. Fair cop. It's a fair cop. It's a fair cop. You could have picked it up.
Yeah, and so it basically ends. And so the entire story ends with Jessica Fletcher. With Jessica Fletcher standing at the lectern, telling this entire crowd of people, including the two murderers.
Okay.
How they failed.
So I know it's extremely like a CSI Miami coded, but she should have held up the gay boy and looked at him and said, "Game over."
It's hilarious. Like it's
incredible. Okay, so I'm calling my read of it like a half guess because I correctly guessed the Chekhov's gun of the dog, but my money eventually was on the tennis coach because my theory was that he was the only character on the train who we hadn't run into since Jessica got off the train. And so I thought, they're saving him for the movie. And so they're saving him for the reveal as the villain, and the fact that he was former Cold War has to deal with the espionage. That he was from a former Soviet bloc country. So, that was my guess, but I was wrong, but I'll take that. So, what did we think of South by Southwest, Murder, She Wrote?
Oh my god. Like, it's not, like, now, I'm gonna say this. This is not my favorite Murder, She Wrote. I've got a few in the series. Some of them involving one of my favorite characters by the name of Michael Lagerty. No, not Lagerty. Haggerty. Michael Haggerty. Who is a British secret agent.
Oh my god.
And also the one I previously mentioned about Jessica outsmarting KGB agents, which is another fantastic episode. But...
Well, she outsmarted She outsmarted people doing espionage against the United States in this movie, so not a far-fetched.
Yeah. So what I love about Jessica in this episode is that it really does give Angela Lansbury that one more case that a lot of people want with other shows.
So,
where they say that like they should get their one more case.
Right.
Peter Falk was supposed to get one, but he ended up developing Alzheimer's, and he
Oh,
in his final years, he outright started to think that he was Columbo, and they were
oh,
like, no.
that's sad. I have to ask, how much more Murder She Wrote did they make after this?
They only made three more TV movies.
Okay,
Uh,
this is just a little.
the yeah, one after this is like the last case related what where it like feels like a murder she wrote, and the last two are very much like trying to be like something else, but also not,
Okay, fair enough.
and but yeah, this is Jessica's one last case, and you can really tell by just how big and bombastic it is,
Oh yeah.
from from the train to the bus to government conspiracy. Then it turns out that no, this is just a case of fuck up being hidden.
Espionage.
Yeah, then it turns out to be an espionage. Then it turns out to be no, this is just a fuck up being trying to be hidden, which turned into espionage.
Oh God Almighty! Yeah, I had a lot of
It's
fun with this. So I I struggled to make it fit in with the ethos of Quantum Leap. Putting right what once went wrong. As we said in Miami Vice, murders are very much not putting right what once went wrong. It's figuring out how this wrong thing happened.
yeah, figuring out how this wrong happened and how one can, yeah, figuring out how. Yeah, that is the number one point, and what we try to do when we watch these types of shows is when we watch shows outside of Quantum Leap, we pick out the thing of how does this connect to Quantum Leap's message of putting right what once wrong. Here, it's very clear and definite. You can't save Richard Loomis, you can't save Peter Hayward, but what you can do is number one, show that the two NSA agents are complete moronic idiots by hiding what they did, by hiding the truth, and number two, getting back the freaking codes that Peter was trying to give to the reporter for whistleblowing, and ended up in the hands of spies.
Oh God.
It's this episode really is that like it's clearly defined, and just like how Rainiac was with Boogeyman. I'm really glad you had fun with it.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. So,
I'm not mean all the time, Chris. No, I like to show people. I like to show good things.
yeah. So, you made this kind of a meme, but well, that'll end our discussion of Murder She Wrote's episode West. So now the only thing to do is I finally got to spin this silly goose of a wheel, and hopefully it is kind to us. So
Next time on Quantum Leap Reviews, the Naked Now.
the naked now is not on this wheel, is it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Why? Well, we're gonna find out what's gonna happen because I'm gonna hit the button. Okay, kids. Okay, Will. Be nice to us, huh? Be nice. Be nice.
Oh, please.
Okay.
Oh,
Whip, up, up, up,
please.
up, up, up. Here she goes.
Did you just click it 5 times, or did I make it go fast?
Yes, I did. Oh. Well, that's interesting. It's a quantum leap again, Mike.
Oh, yay.
And I'm gonna do this. So I wonder if you can guess where it's from. I'm gonna do this.
Oh, oh. Oh, why does it... Oh, why did... Oh.
I'm going super bombastic because it's season 5 again.
Oh, my
So
God. Is it... Oh, God. Did you pick the Elvis episode?
no, but you're close. Next time on Quantum Leap Reviews. Goodbye, Norma Jean.
Oh, my God. So we go from one Twin Peaks reference to another Twin Peaks reference.
We get to talk about Marilyn Monroe, kids.
Oh, gee. Yeah. Oh, wow. That would be. Yeah, that's
Okay.
third from the end.
Yeah.
That's
Whoa.
third from.
Oh my God, Mike! You're not gonna believe. Okay, I'm looking at the actual wheel here, and okay, so that was one space off from Revenge of the Evil Leaper, but
Yeah.
somehow wedged into season 5, it was two spaces away from the Naked Now. Oh, thank God! Oh, thank you, Marilyn. Thank you, Marilyn, for saving us from the worst dregs of TNG season 1.
Oh,
Thank you.
fun fact! Fun fact, ladies and gentlemen. 24 in the 24 hours between us watching South by Southwest and this podcast, I watched an episode of Star Trek by the name of The Child.
Why
Do
would you?
not watch The Child.
Why would you do a fucked up thing like that?
Yeah. I have several questions now as
Okay,
to how
Mike.
Star Trek: The Next Generation survived.
Okay, Mike. I will tell you a little. Okay, I'll give you the short version here. Beyond the fact that it's garbage. Number one, there was a writer's strike going on that year, and number two, that script was an old script dusted off for the canceled sequel series to Star Trek they were going to do before they ended up just doing the first movie, Star Trek Phase 2.
It's Phase 2.
It's a Phase 2 script that they just dug out of mothballs and did a find replace on and replaced I don't know who was in that episode, and they just wrote in Deanna Troi. So that explains why that episode is such a goddamn mess.
Yeah, pretty much, and that also explains a little bit as to why that's the introduction of Dr. Pulaski, which not a good look.
Oh yeah.
First episode with your new doctor, when that's their thing. And number two, that explains why later that same season they had something like Devil's Due, which is a fantastic.
No, Devil's Due is like season 3, season 4. But that also is a Phase 2 script that they dug out of mothballs. I don't know what they were doing with that, but that episode turned out a little better than The Child.
Yeah, The Child was
Yeah.
If that had been Uhura, which is probably what it would have been.
I don't.
Oh God.
I don't know. Hang on. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna see if I can do a little googling. Fuck it. Star Trek Phase 2.
Would that have been better or worse than what?
The Child Phase 2. Oh God. Oh. It would have been. Okay. So do you ever see the first Star Trek movie?
Yes.
You remember the bald lady,
Yeah.
Lieutenant Ilea?
Oh jeez.
It would have been her.
Oh no.
Which honestly, no matter what woman you do it to, be it Uhura, be it Ilea, be it Deanna Troi, this fucking sucks.
Yeah. Would that be better or worse than what Shatner made Nichols do in Final Frontier?
Worse.
Yeah, that is yeah. Welcome to the 90s, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, well, 88, and it was a 70s script, brought up to 1980. Anyway, Star Trek babbling aside, you can find us lovely people on Bluesky down below. Mike, you have a blog and a letterboxd, I do believe?
Yes, I have a blog, michaelhoovianthoughts@blogspot.com. I have a letterbox in which I just reviewed the episode. I have it right here. Let me quickly go to letterbox. I last reviewed the episode Terror of the Autons, which is another dual introduction story, just like the Child with Dr. Pulaski. Terror of the Autons is both the introduction of the Master and Joe Grant. And I'm going to tell you this right off the bat. Not a good episode to introduce Joe Grant with.
No, she gets better. I really like Joe Grant. She does a lot better.
I love Joe Grant. I like Joe Grant. That was probably not the best way to introduce him.
Yeah. There are better episodes, but I'm glad you have a good time. You can find me on my blog or twitch.tv or things on here or whatever. Sean does comics work that's linked down below at the beat and is working on other projects and stuff, and is going to have a good time as we come back next time to talk about a bit of a downer with the life and death of Marilyn Monroe in Goodbye, Norma Jean.
And when we also find out in Goodbye Norma Jean that Sam's life, the original timeline of Quantum Leap, it's once again, like as we found out in Lee Harvey Oswald, it was bad, folks.
Yes, well, that's the trick that's the tightrope they have to walk in order to do these real life celebrity Quantum Leap stories. But we'll talk about that more in 2 weeks' time. So until then, say goodnight, Mike.
Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. And Preston will see you tonight. Probably. Preston will probably see you tonight on his streams.
Well, it won't be tonight because I'm editing this the next morning. So as of recording. I mean, we're stuck in this liminal space. Anyway, good night, everybody, and we'll be seeing you.
Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.